Our number 3 agenda item is Dr. Spencer from RIT, and she's going to tell us about our solar energy project.
Many thanks to the librarian who helped get this working. I appreciate it. And thank you all for having me here tonight. I've got my cards with me, and I'll just send those around, and I also have a sign-up sheet going around if you want to have your information be included on the mailing list. So I'm here to talk to you today about a program that we're debuting March 20th, 2016. It's called Solarize the Flower City 2016. And I'm really excited to be here talking about this. We did a pilot program last year called Solarize the Flower City Southeast that was only in the Southeast quadrant. We had the highest retention rate for customers transitioning to solar in the entire state of New York. So our program is working well, and we're really excited to be having it throughout the entire city this year, and not just for residents, but also for businesses. So the program itself is sponsored by NYSERDA, the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority. They also do things like energy efficiency audits, lots of stuff that impacts all of us. So Solarize is meant to remove the barriers to going from traditional power to solar power. This is done in a few different ways. Building trust, so having people like myself. My PhD is in solar science. By the way, I'm not a medical doctor, so cannot address any of those questions tonight. But going into the community and talking to everybody about what it means to transition to solar, how it works, does it work, what does it cost? Can it be affordable? Reducing complexity. So working with the installers to negotiate just flat rates for people. So you know how much the solar is going to cost you, and it's going to cost you as little as possible. That takes me to number 3, decreasing cost. So the way that ROCSPOT, my company is ROCSPOT, the way that we run a Solarize campaign, we essentially bundle together a large geographical region and then negotiate for significant discounts from installation companies who want to be putting solar up. So this last year in the Southeast Quadrant, our final discount was 29% right off the top of the solar system. And we also work to inspire people to do this now. And the reason for this is that the NYSERDA incentives, so this is one of the other things that's used to bring down the cost, they go down over time. And I'll tell you something, lots of areas in New York State have already put solar up on their houses. The city of Rochester is the second cheapest place in the state to install it, and we're the slowest to do it. So ROCSPOT is here to help us make that transition much smoother. So like I said, I'm a solar scientist. My PhD is in the quantum photophysics of organic solar cells. I'm not presenting on that tonight. I saw eyes immediately glaze over there, don't worry. The number one thing to know is solar works here. You know, I'm blessed that today was sunny, but many days in Rochester are not, right? I mean, I've lived here all my life. I know that as well as anybody else. We actually get more sunlight than Germany, and they're the number 1 producer of electricity from sunlight in the world. The system can cost as little as $5,000. Depending on the size of the system, it can actually be less than that. They pay for themselves in 4 to 10 years, which can give you 15 to 21 years of free, warranted electricity, which saves an average of $27,000 over the lifetime of the system. So this is not small money that we're talking about here. And these savings are real. These savings start immediately. So in order to do this, in order to bring this knowledge to as many people as possible, we're doing this campaign this year. So the campaign is actually not public knowledge yet because the governor hasn't made his press announcement, but we've been given permission to actually start talking about it, thankfully. But until then, you won't see us having our press release out and getting coverage about this. What we do is reduce the cost of solar power for homeowners and businesses by more than 20%. We aim for 20 to 30%. There's free assessments for solar and energy efficiency audits, because when we compare together renewable energy electricity and insulation to lower your natural gas bill, you're going to get savings on both fronts, reducing your overall energy cost for the entire year. And we do free educational outreach and financial assessments. So any customer participating through the Solarize program gets to work with ROCSPOT consultants for free. We help understand the finances, understand the installing process. We're really here to help the community make this transition. This year, we have something brand new that we're really excited about, and that's the Affordable Solar Incentive. So this is an extra incentive for owner-occupied low-income households. It actually doubles the amount of money that you get from NYSERDA for putting up solar. So if you put up a system and you are, and you know, last year when this wasn't available, you'd probably get around $2,500 to $3,000 from NYSERDA. Now you're going to get around $5,000 to $6,000 from NYSERDA right off the top of your system cost. So these are really significant savings. This is paired through with energy efficiency and administered through NYSERDA and the New York Sun program. So we started our campaign March 20th, 2016. We will be having a launch party where the mayor and some senators will be talking about the program and what it's going to be doing. But the real work and the real exciting part for me are solar assemblies, solar breakfasts, and solar drinks. So these are our outreach opportunities into the community that we do every month, where you can come in and receive completely free education about how solar works, how the program works, how the finances work. And it's not just a nerd like me talking to people there. There's engineers, there's business people, there's representatives from NeighborWorks, from Eastman Savings and Loan, and from all the installation companies, as well as representatives from the city of Rochester. So the program, again, like I said, covers the entire city, and the sign up ends on September 15th. So the partners this year are, well, my company ROCSPOT is the campaign manager. The city of Rochester is one of our core partners, as is NeighborWorks. We are also partnered with the town of Brighton and the town of Irondequoit, because the more that we can include, the larger the discount for everybody. So, what we're asking neighborhood and business associations to help us with is sign up on the sheet for campaign updates. Invite us to your neighborhood events. We are happy to come and sit at a table at barbecues, at concerts, at block parties, anywhere there's food. I can guarantee like 50% of my volunteers will be more than happy to go. Help us talk to your neighbors. So when we reach out and say, hey, can we come and give a presentation on solar, help us spread the word that we're going to be coming and talking about it. Once the campaign is public, please spread the word on Facebook and Twitter. And if you see, ROCSPOT flyers hung up in your neighborhood, let us know. Let us know that we're reaching people. And that's my main email address if anybody has any questions. Just time checking here. I don't want to take up too much of your time. It's 6:16. So I'm happy to take any questions that anybody has on the program.
Not on the program, but is it possible to get this to him so that we can put it up on location 19?
Yep, I'm happy to email
Beautiful.
it. Mm-hmm.
Great.
Who is him?
John,
Can
sorry.
you
Yes.
identify?
Oh, John Boutte.
Yeah,
Mr.
if you have-
location 19.
You have my card. If you shoot me an email, I'll send it right over to you. Not a problem.
Bingo.
Okay.
Yes.
You knew it.
I'm with the library, so are you guys going to be want to do presentations like here at our net over at Wheatley Library? Because you might reach some more folks that way as well.
Yeah, we'd love to be able to come in and do presentations at the library. I mean, you guys have solar here, so you're one of our one of our favorites to point to and say, look, it can work here in Rochester. So yes, we'd be very interested in
And
doing
I'm going
that.
to give your information to the 2 branch managers.
Wonderful, thank you.
As you know, Rochester has a very, very high poverty rate. And you said that you doubled the incentive for owner-occupied. Many impoverished tenants pay their own electric. It would be great if you could get pretty big incentives for them too.
So the program that we're going to be debuting a little bit later in the year, because it's coming from the state down and it's brand new, It's called shared solar. It's for fixed income seniors. It's for residents that are renting, perhaps not in an owner-occupied house. It's pretty much for everybody in the city who pays an electricity bill.
Okay.
You essentially buy your electricity from a solar field, and the solar field is owned by the community. So this program we see is a really great way to let everybody be able to participate, because that's a really critical issue. So just very briefly, I founded this company in 2014 with the goal of getting Rochester to 100% renewable energy by 2025, which is now in line with the governor's mandate of 50% by 2030. And the work that we're doing here in Rochester is being considered kind of the front lines of this transition. So ensuring complete accessibility to renewable energy for every single resident, no matter their socioeconomic status, is absolutely critical to us. So when we've got shared solar ready, we will be coming right back here and talking more about it.
You have a question?
Dr. Spencer, you know what would be good as you meet with the community folks? Is it possible to get the installers to come and bring like a visual aid of one of the panels and what it looks like? And also, and I know we spoke about this earlier, to bring someone that's from the city of Rochester that has that.
Yep.
You know, because I know you drew a graph and you showed, which was actually a great graph because it showed where you were with the RG&E and how much money you were saving, and that would hit home for a lot of folks.
So at our solar assemblies and solar breakfasts and solar drinks that are more kind of community focused events, we bring the installers. Okay. Sometimes they actually bring a mobile charging truck, so you can charge your cell phones on solar on the truck while you're at the assembly, and we always have solar ambassadors. They are the most critical piece, because as you point out, having somebody who lives here in the city and who's gone through this process and who can say, yeah, my electricity bill has gone down to nothing, that makes a big difference. So yes, definitely, we'll make sure that we have that at all of our community outreach events.
And what's in the solar breakfast?
So the solar breakfasts are going to be hosted at a variety of businesses all throughout the city, Irondequoit and Brighton. And they're meant for business owners who want to participate in the commercial level of the program to come in and kind of see the same presentation. So the Chamber of Commerce will be hosting one, Rochester Builders Exchange will be hosting one, just businesses that are kind of able to help us get the word out to other companies in the area that this is something that can make a big difference for them too. Bausch & Lomb is a great example.
Right, okay.
They've got 1.1 megawatts. It's the largest installation in the city of Rochester, and it does a third of their manufacturing line's electricity needs. So we want to make sure that we're talking to the residents as well as the businesses, and not just the big businesses,
Right.
because the small businesses can benefit just as much.
Right, because they have their lights, they run their coolers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week,
Yep.
365 days a year. Their lighting, all the refrigerated items. Right.
We're actually working with a business owner on Grape Street right now, next to College Club Beverages, right across the street, who has exactly that issue. I mean, he's got meat that he needs to keep at reasonable temperatures 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and his bills they're out of control. And solar is actually going to make a difference for him immediately.
Really?
So.
If you have manufacturing along residential, could you farm it there too as well? If there's a lot.
Do you mean like if there's a lot of land or roof space, can we put up a big field and then the residents take advantage of it?
So the commercial would, I mean,
Yep,
you
so
could
that is
compost.
a key component of the shared solar program. And the reason why that's not being rolled out at the exact same time is because the governor just opened it up in December. So we're making sure that we've got all our ducks in a row and before we actually start offering that to residents.
Could that also do the light poles too? If you want to do like public parks and add light poles and stuff, it could be solar.
Yeah, yes we can. We're actually doing in the oh my goodness, northwest quadrant, northeast quadrant. Northeast quadrant, thank you. We're hoping to be relighting the Long Memorial on Upper Falls Boulevard with solar power.
That's the Bausch & Lomb Memorial tower thing when you go across the bridge, that big thing?
So it's, it's something that there's a lot of things that can be powered by it. Alongside of this, we're working with kind of local community leaders in a variety of neighborhoods and kids from schools like Harley as well as School 17, and helping build solar charging stations and little mini lit up kiosks to help kind of increase a feeling of public safety in the neighborhood, and also an awareness of solar power. So we're hoping that when they stop to charge their cell phones, they actually read the kiosk. I hope.
Where's my hand?
Yeah.
Are there grants?
Yes, so there's the way that the grants work. There's a 30% tax credit right off the bat from the federal government. There's a 25% New York State tax credit right off the bat.
For who?
For residents. Yep. Then there's the incentive program, which is a grant. And that is I think it's 50 cents per watt installed right now, which shakes out to about $2,500 for an average system, or $5,000 for an average system if you qualify for affordable solar. Affordable solar is 80% or less of the area median income. It means you gotta be making less than $54,000 a year. I qualify. I think a lot of people qualify. And then on top of that, there are energy efficiency grants that are available through NYSERDA. And there's a variety of kind of smaller grants that are available through different community groups here in Rochester. And finally, there's 0% interest financing through NYSERDA. So that makes this pretty darn affordable for a large swath of area homeowners.
So, Dr. Spencer, one of the things that's going on, one of the initiatives that we're doing in our community, my name's Lynette, is the Legacy Park on Plymouth Avenue. And the Legacy, we have our artist that's building this massive structure in Legacy Park, and it's stars. And one of the children in our recent community forum suggested that the stars sparkle. And so our artist.
Is our artist sitting right here?
That's our artist. Yeah, and he suggested to the child that if you could come up with a way to make this happen, and I think that we might have found a way to make this happen. And so we need to make that connection to make those stars in Legacy Park sparkle.
So one of the things that we're asking, we just put out our RFP, our request for proposal, to solicit bids from the installation companies who will be doing this work. And one of the things that we have asked them is how many panels are they going to donate to flagship projects in each of the quadrants. So the Law Memorial would be Pam's flagship project. Legacy Park lighting up with solar-powered stars could be the Legacy project here.
Okay.
Now we're not talking millions of panels. I wish, but it is enough to really kind of help just add a little something extra to projects like what we're talking about.
Actually, it's not called Legacy Park anymore. It's called Legacy Station.
Oh, okay.
And the panel would probably, you would have to talk with the artist, but it will probably be something small to fit into the star.
The panel?
Yes.
Well, may I ask you something? Because we're going to have a stage at Legacy. So could we then hypothetically put the panels on top of the stage roof?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Wow.
I mean, that's something that Greg, I would call you a solar expert personally.
Yes.
No. So I think that's something that you would understand if when we have the panels up, we want to put them in a good place to get as much sunlight as possible, and then they can be wired, possibly with some backup batteries, in order to produce perhaps lighting for the stage, lighting for the stars, depending on how many are donated.
Wonderful. Good job.
I just want you to know that there's a Christmas tree we need lit too.
Oh, okay. I am. It's all taking notes.
Keep it in your head.
Yep.
Thank you, Dr.
Anybody else? Thank
Spencer.
you very much.
Yeah, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank
Any
you.
other questions for Dr. Spencer? If you have any questions for her, you can please, you can email her or put your comments on location 19. We have our blog. It's going to be up and running based on this meeting. And any questions or concerns that you have, please place them on our location 19.
Great. Thank you so much for having me in. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck in your next 2 years.
Thank you.
both of
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.